Do we have jail support for our comrades getting arrested?
We the people have a voice. About us 4118. About us 4118.
Protesters causing chaos after barging into a Los Angeles City Council meeting and threatening lawmakers. They were angry over a measure that would ban homeless encampments near schools and daycares. Police ended up arresting 2 of the activists. The opponents say the bill would further isolate the homeless community, and ultimately, the City Council, though, passed the measure. Judge, I want to come to you on this first. We all agree that violence has no place in any of this, that you need to disrupt peacefully. But what do you think of the measure itself? Because this is something that I'm sure is going to be popping up in cities all across the country that are dealing with homeless problem.
Well, if they ban homeless encampments near schools and near daycare centers, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, obviously. I think we've got to protect children in school. We've got to protect children in daycare centers. The problem with these homeless encampments, a lot of these people are drug users. They've got mental health conditions. They've got all kinds of problems where our kids are in danger. These people who are objecting to the displacement, as they call it, the displacement of the homeless and saying that that's unfair and illegal are totally wrong. They don't have a right to pitch a tent in a public place. And I think Tennessee has actually passed a law that says if you pitch a tent on public land, it's a felony for which you get 6 years in prison. They're not looking to put them in prison for 6 years. Right. They're looking to take them to the next level, which is to get the mental health treatment that they need.
What about that, Dana? And what about the role that affordable housing could play in dealing with this problem?
Well, it's very frustrating. The number one issue in Los Angeles is the homeless problem.
Right.
Okay, so that is happening, and it's going to be the number one issue in many cities. You can see it happening in this one here. It affects everybody's quality of life, and it affects your compassion, because you don't like to see people live it on the street like that. And I don't understand this. They're happy with no gun zones. But what about no homeless zones around a school? Like, I think that should be something that, well, and the city council agreed, they passed it. The other thing that's happening in Los Angeles, and it's going to be on the ballot in November, they want to make hotels report by 2 p.m. what rooms are still available. And you have to do this. This would be mandated. And then they will put homeless people in those hotel rooms for that night. And you would have no say about it if you're the hotel owner. And that is something that they want people to vote on. Now, the people should vote on it. I hope people do come out and vote on it, because the government has an obligation to try to help the people. The taxpayers are willing to help the people, but these solutions are not going to cut it.
Greg, what about that program? So everyone, including, like, the Beverly Hills Hotel also has to register.
That's crazy.
Yep.
There's a lot of unspeakable truths that you can't say about this, but you should say, right? There are mentally ill people that need help. We have talked about that for years. So I'm not going to get any shame about being very... This was only about 10 cities being banned near schools. They should be banned, period. Period. They are not safe places. These are not like mentally ill people who need help, because these are people that actually choose to live there. And if you say, "Oh my God, nobody has such a..." Believe me, there are people that actually believe that this is the way to live. I see them. I walk by them. I see them. I know them almost by name because I walk by them on 6th Avenue. They like places where they can aggressively panhandle. They need to be in this city to support their lifestyle, right? Because they do a lot of... It's outdoor recreational drug use. That's what it is. Michael Schellenberger has been covering this forever. He ran for governor. Sadly, he lost. But the fact is, by conflating this with the mentally ill, which I used to do, but now I see it as a separate thing, it actually hurts the ability to do something about this. In those encampments, people are being sexually abused. There are physical fights, violent fights with actual weapons. It's truly a dystopia. And it's near Hollywood, who prefers their dystopians to be like, The Handmaid's Tale, these white patriarch fantasies, when in fact, just down the road, downtown, it is so bad. And it's expanding and expanding. It is time to ban urban camping.
I agree.
Right? Because they're only there because they can be there.
Jesse, final thoughts?
Why do liberals want homeless next to kids? I mean, that's weird.
Right.
Why were they protesting to put homeless people, half naked, shoot up drugs in front of a nursery school? Why would you want that? That's disgusting. We used to have real protest movements. They'd protest, for civil rights, for women's rights, protest against the draft. There's nothing left to protest. They're protesting for the ability of homeless people to smoke crack in front of a nursery school. That's insane. If you want to protest, fine, but eventually you have to move from the protest to producing something. And if you're stuck on the homeless, okay. They're actually protesting for the homeless to stay homeless. Mm-hmm. They're not protesting or producing anything for the homeless, like getting them off the streets. They're like, yeah, we want the homeless to stay sick and homeless and dirty and disgusting. We want that. Don't try to stop them from living a depraved, disgusting, unhealthy life next to children.
I think some dignified solution that treats people with respect on both sides.
Is there any dignity what you see on the streets? That's the one thing that's missing.
That's the least dignified thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the solution that treats these people as people and also protects
Who's
children.
saying treat them like people?
I'm not. I'm just adding.
That's such a straw man argument.
It is not.
Yes, it is. Who's not going to treating them like people is getting them off the street and getting them treatment.
How about we treat the kids like people?
I do. I have a child.
Why are you pro-homeless, Jessica?
Because they're people too. The fastest is up next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.